In this video, I'll be going over how to use combined arms in DCS. So I'm in a mission here in the mission editor, and I'll show you how to set it up. First, you can see there's these buttons here on the left. You need to click the one with the flags. It's going to open this menu. So first you want to check this box at the top that says pilot can control vehicles. This makes it where you can control vehicles even if you are flying in an airplane, if you're in an airplane slot. Then you have all these things here. These are the roles that you can activate if you want to control vehicles in combined arms without being in a pilot in a plane. So you can see for each team there are 4 roles here. First is Game Master. Game Master can control all the vehicles on both teams. Tactical Commander is the same thing as Game Master, except Tactical Commander is only for one team. So if you're the red team Tactical Commander, you can only control vehicles for red team, and the same for blue team. JTAC allows you to hop into vehicles and control them. However, you cannot control vehicles from the F10 map. And Observer allows you to see all the vehicles on your team. However, you won't be able to actually control everything. So basically, you come to the team you want and you can use these arrows to add how many roles you want for each. I'm going to add a Game Master just so I can control everything. You can also see this button that says lock. If you do that, it lets you put a password in. So if I want to put a password for Game Master on blue team, I can come here and put the password. Okay, so now for actually putting the vehicles down. So let's go ahead and put a vehicle down. Let's just say I want to put down a Sherman tank. So whenever you put it down, you'll have these settings here. You need to make sure player can drive is selected. That is how you can be able to hop into it and drive around in combined arms. You can also see this setting that's Game Master only. This is if you want to have some vehicles that only the Game Master can control. Now keep in mind, not all vehicles can be driven in combined arms. You will see some things that you can't control, but most vehicles in the game can be controlled. I've already put down a few vehicles to just demonstrate everything. You can see I've put down a Manpads Stinger here. I also put down a truck for rearming and refueling. I put down a Striker, I have a Jeep, and I have some Paladins. Okay, so let's go into the mission and demonstrate this. So I'm gonna go ahead and click Game Master and click OK. So first I'll go over controlling things from the F10 map, and then I'll go over controlling it from actually getting inside the car and driving it around. So to control a vehicle, you just click on it like this, and then you're gonna have this menu down here. So if you want it to drive somewhere, first you click Set Path. Then you can use your left click on your mouse to put spots where you want the car to drive, and then you can right click with your mouse to confirm it. And now you can see my Sherman is driving. You can also set a target. You just click Add Target, and then you click a target here. If you want the vehicle to start firing, you can click the Start Firing button. And if you want it to stop firing at a target, you can click Stop Fire. And when you click on the vehicle, you'll see all your targets. You can see I only have one here. You can move it around, and you can also remove it with this button. And you can also change the target radius, which is more for artillery, which I'll talk about later. You can also have a speed controller here to control how fast it's going. Then you have this thing here that says ROE, Rules of Engagement. On fire, it will just fire when it sees any enemy vehicles. On hold, it will not fire no matter what. And on return fire, it will only start firing if it's attacked. Then you have the formation. Now, since I only have one vehicle here, it's not going to do anything. But if I were to come over here where I have multiple vehicles in one group, you can see right now they're in a column, but if I would click this, then if I set a path and had them start moving, then they would go into the formation I have selected here. The last thing you have for this control panel is state. So if it's on green, it means they are not ready for combat. If it's on red, it means their weapons are going to be set up and ready for combat. And if it's on auto, that means whenever they're just moving around, they'll be on green. But whenever they detect an enemy target, then they'll automatically switch to red and get ready for combat. Keep in mind, you can also control planes from the F10 map. You can just click on a plane you want, and you have all the same buttons, and you can just do the same. It's the same thing with the cars. The only thing different is we have the altitude slider here, which its function is obvious. Okay, so now I'll go over how to actually control the vehicles. So to actually hop into a vehicle, you click on it, and you'll see this little thing up here with the tank symbol. You click on it, and now you can hop into the vehicle. Now by default, you'll be in first person, so you can select the insert button on your keyboard to go to third person. Now the insert button on your keyboard is next to backspace. So you can use your mouse to move around and change where your turret is looking. And you use W, A, S, and D to drive around. Now by default you won't be able to drive because you'll be in neutral gear, which is you can see on the bottom right. So you can use Z and X on your keyboard to change gears. So you can see this has 1 reverse gear, neutral, D1, and once I put it into gear, then you can use WASD to start driving. You can also click right control and E to turn the engine off, and you can click it again to turn the engine back on. And you can see when the engine's off, there'll be this red symbol here. If I click insert to go back to first person, you can see you can still use your mouse to move it around, and you can use right mouse button to zoom in. And I can't zoom in on the Sherman, but let me go to something else, like, let me go to this guy. You can see you can use right mouse button to zoom in. So to control the weapons, first we have Q and E. Q will switch between the 2 turrets. So you can see this vehicle has 2 turrets. It has the big one and it has the machine gun turret. So you can see right now I have the big turret selected, and when I click Q, then I go to the little machine gun turret. And then there's E, which switches the weapons on the turret. Now this one here only has 1 weapon, it's the 12.7mm, but this big turret has 2 weapons. You can see we have the 105mm, and I can click it to go to 7.62. Then you can just use left mouse button to fire, so let's go ahead and shoot our 7.62. And let's go ahead and switch to my 105mm and fire that. Then I can click Q to go to my other turret, and I can fire the 12.7mm right now. You can also fire the turrets from the outside like this. Now a lot of the vehicles have a stabilizer which you can turn on and off with a V on your keyboard, and you can see on and off on the top. Now if you have stabilizing off, the turret will move with the tank, so it will be unstable. But let's say I want to shoot while I'm moving, I can turn the stabilizer off, so it will be stable. A lot of the vehicles also have a laser rangefinder. You can activate it by clicking L, and it will get the range of what you're looking at. The range will be shown on the bottom in meters. So for example, if I look at this fence and click L, the fence is 684 meters away. This is important because it will automatically zero your gun in for the right distance. So the way you want to shoot is you want to find your target and then click L to get your range and then fire. And you can see we got that fence. Now you can also turn on night vision by clicking N, and you can also change the brightness of the night vision with right Alt and N to decrease it and right Control N to increase it. You can also do right Shift and N to turn on infrared view. So now I'll be going over how to use artillery. So let's say you want to shoot something like this. These are meant for long distances. And technically you can go inside these things and aim them, but you just don't really want to do that for really long distances. So let's say I have all these artillery guys here and I want them to fire on this island. What you can do is you can click on one of them, and then you can click Add Target, and then you can click on your target here. And this is what I was talking about earlier for target radius. You can change the radius of where the artillery will shoot. So let's make it that big. And then you can click Start Fire to start the fire mission. And then you can come here and let's spectate these guys. And you'll see they should start to shoot here. There they go, they're starting to shoot. So let's go spectate this island. Okay, and you can see. So if I want to stop it, all you do is click on it again and click Stop Fire. Now there is a way to fire these in first person if you want. First thing you need to do is you need to get the bearing and range. So you can see the bearing from my target, from my artillery to my target is 136 degrees. And the range is 1.66 nautical miles, so you have to convert that to meters. Then we can go inside here and we can go to first person and we can use the compass to aim. I don't really remember what it was, but let's just say it was 140 degrees. And then you aim up and down, and this number right here is how many meters away they are. Okay, so last I'll go over how to use SAM turrets and surface-to-air missiles. So I don't really know where that A10 went, so I'm going to restart the mission. So we have this A10 flying, so let's go ahead and click on our Stinger and go here. So let's click Insert to go third person. So what you need to do is find your air target. So there he is up there. So you're going to put your crosshair on him and you'll start to get a growling noise, and then after a couple seconds the noise will change and you can fire. There goes my missile. And you can see it already missed. I don't know where it's going. It looks like it didn't even... Oh, okay, there it's going actually. And it barely missed. It didn't have enough energy. Now keep in mind, in combined arms, not every weapon works exactly the same. There are some weapons where you might have to click enter to get a lock, so different vehicles might be a little bit different, but they're all mostly basically the same controls. Okay, so now I'll be showing you how to rearm something. So if you want to rearm a vehicle, you have to either be at an airbase or at a warehouse, or you have to be next to a rearming vehicle. For example, a truck like this. So to rearm a vehicle, first you need to go inside it by clicking this button again, take control. So in order to rearm a vehicle, to fill it up with ammo, you hold left control on your keyboard and then you click backslash, which is the button right under backspace. So hold left alt and click backslash, and you can see ammo replenishment started, and you can see down at the bottom right, it's going to take 60 seconds to replenish our ammo. So that is how you refill the ammo. The last thing I have to go over is using a vehicle as a JTAC. Now you can actually use any vehicle as a JTAC. I can even use this Jeep. So you need to click it and you need to go inside of it. And then you need to click B. And when you click B on your keyboard, you go into JTAC mode. Okay, I'm just gonna turn the engine off. So you click B to go to JTAC mode, and now you're gonna get this screen here. So basically the point of the JTAC is if you have some friends that are actually flying, and you can help them by marking targets. So first we have these buttons on the top for the smoke, and you can see the 10 is how many you have left. So I have 10 orange smokes left. So let's see, I see a target right there. Let's see that tree. I don't like that tree. I'm gonna put my crosshair on him, and then I'm gonna click 1, and now there's orange smoke, and you can see now I have 9 smokes left. So I can tell my friend, hey, I just put an orange smoke on the target, there it is. And obviously there's also red smokes and green smokes. So next thing you can do is click Z to go to infrared view. This is the same thing as what we were doing earlier. And you can also click N to go to the night vision view again. Now the first thing to keep in mind is that this thing can do an IR marker or an infrared marker. If you click R, you'll see it blinking IR marker in the bottom. Basically, this is we are shining a laser right now. I mean, you can't see it because I don't have my night vision on. But right now, we're shining a laser that anybody with night vision can see. Now, this laser, the IR laser, can't guide weapons or anything. It's just for finding targets. So if I have it on, you can see there's a little dot. That is our IR marker. So I can turn it off, and the dot goes away. And then I turn it back on, and there's a dot. So you can mark it with something if you're flying at night, and you can tell your friend, hey, I put the marker on the target. So then you can click L to turn on the laser. Now you won't be able to see this laser, but you can see the L is blinking at the bottom, which means it's on. This is the laser for actually guiding weapons. So basically, let's say your friend has a paveway bomb he wants to drop. What you can do is he can drop it on the general area, and then you can shine your laser on the target and the bomb will guide with the laser. Now the bomb will have a certain laser code plugged in, and you have to be shining the same laser code. So what you can do is click C. So let's say your friend says my bomb is on code 1677. So you can type in 1677 here and click set, and now you are shining laser 1677. So then to get out of JTAC mode, you can click B again, and there you go. So that is the basics of how to use combined arms. Obviously I didn't go over every single different vehicle and everything, but this should help you be able to use most things. Thanks for checking out this video, and I'll see you later.